This is Adam. Welcome to So I've Been Told. It has been a long time since I put out an episode. I've had a really busy second half of 2016, and I just wasn't happening, so I'm sorry. But I'm back with a now super outdated interview. I talked to my buddy Zach Hallenback way back, I think it was in June or July, I don't know, but it was a long time ago. So some of the stuff in the interview is a little bit outdated, but that just means that, if things go the way I'd like them to, and I get back in the habit of actually, regularly podcasting, that I'll just have to have Zach back on, and we'll just have to friggin' do this again. Life is crazy, and it's not like I'm a professional podcaster. It's not like I got any ads or anything like that. It's, I'm not getting paid to do this. I mean, if you would like to sponsor my show, if you're giving me money, I'll put tons of episodes out. But it's, hard to prioritize doing a podcast when you're poor and you have 1,000 other things to do. Set up my bed on the interstate. These days Route 90's my home. 'Cause my life keeps taking me east, but my heart belongs west in New York. It's a big state, it's getting smaller by the day. Each time I go outside, it's more familiar, I'd say, by the Hudson or Erie or Lake Ontario. The Finger Lakes carved out so neatly by snow. I don't care where I end up, just as long as I'm a stone's throw away. Word. How are you?
How am I?
I guess it's weird to
Yeah.
fake exchange pleasantries.
Yeah, that's true.
After we've already done that. So
I'm good.
what did you? We'll just jump right in. How did you first get into punk and metal and underground music?
I guess, okay, so I played piano as a kid, so that was my first music thing, and then I wasn't ever that into music. I was just into classic rock in middle school and stuff, but then I started getting into metal and stuff in ninth grade, and was in a shitty metal band called Death by Protein for a while, and then one day my friends Kenny and Sawyer, who were in Death by Protein, were like, "Hey, we're going to this show, this punk show at the Meat Grinder," and that I think was like their second time going, and I was like,
cool.
"Okay, I'll come." I don't really listen to punk much, but maybe I'll like it. And like, cause I had like listened to punk before, and I just like didn't really enjoy it that much, just because it didn't seem like, I don't know. Not because it wasn't polished, but it wasn't that interesting to me. But like being at a live punk show in a basement was unlike anything else, and it was like, it was the best. I loved the Meat Grinder. So then we just kept going back.
What show was that?
It was Virulent Rot, Bong Slave, Dirty Needle, maybe someone else. I don't know.
You went to a pretty metal. Like, that was a pretty metal show for
Yeah.
the Meat Grinder. Like,
Yeah, it
that was
was.
about as metal as it got. Like, Bomb Slave was...
Yeah. It was fun, though. It was, I don't know.
You have a brother that's, like,
Yeah.
a metal guy. So
Yeah, my brother does a lot of metal stuff.
Yeah, was that, like, the connection that, like,
Yeah,
first
he
got
kind
you
of...
into it?
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten into metal if it weren't for my brother, I don't think. But... Yeah.
Weird. And he's, like, in a lot of bands. Or has
Yeah, he's been in a lot of bands. He was in Neotheist when that was a thing. He was in Throne of Wilderness when that was a thing. Keep forgetting the name of the bands that he's in right now. He's doing a David Bowie cover band now also.
I heard about that. I saw Drake
Oh, yeah.
earlier, and he was telling me about that, so...
I haven't heard it yet,
I want to check that out when that happens.
Me too. I'm anticipating good things.
Yeah.
But...
So what was the Death by Protein was like pre-Meat Grinder.
Yeah, that was pre-Meat Grinder. But then we kept doing it for like... I mean, pre-me Meat Grinder. Meat Grinder was doing their thing, but...
Yeah.
The pre-me going there. But then we kept doing that for like a half a year after we started getting into that stuff. And then... So the Meat Grinder is when we first got introduced to Screamo 2, which really kicked off with like my group of friends.
Yeah.
Because that was like I Can't Stop Wondering played, and we were like, oh, that's really cool. And then like we asked them about Screamo, and we're like, tell us more Screamo bands.
So you guys didn't know Avery and Corn before that, or like
we
maybe
knew
kind
of them because they went to the same high school as us.
Yeah, I was gonna. I knew that like.
Yeah, I didn't know them. I don't think I had ever talked to them, but then I was like, okay, yeah, I've seen you around and stuff. But,
yeah.
So that was cool. And now I'm in a band with Avery, so that's cool.
Yeah. What was the first? What band came next for you? I know that Meth Head was a thing. Was that?
Yeah, Meth Head was a thing. What was the first band? Because there was Meth Head and there was Cho, which was my two-piece with Cam.
Okay, I don't think I ever saw that one.
Okay, we played in Fairport a lot, I think, but not much elsewhere. It was just like a emo-y thing. And yeah, so those were both around the same time, and that was like the summer of 2012.
That's when everything was popping off.
That's when everything was popping off. That's when the Meat Grinder popped out.
Yeah, it was a weird time.
Yeah.
And Meth Head was with Sawyer.
Yeah, Meth Head was Sawyer.
Are there still any, like, I know there's YouTube videos, but did you guys like...
We've got a Bandcamp, I think our music is on the Suburban Scrams Bandcamp. Just like compiled into that. Or no, I think there's also a Meth Head Bandcamp for sure.
So I'm going to link all of this. So you know how it goes.
Yeah, I think it's like Meth Head Rock, like ROC, like Rochester, because Meth Head was taken. I think that's the URL, but yeah, if you've typed in Meth Head Bandcamp, you'd probably find it or something.
Cool.
But yeah, that was our two-piece punk thing, inspired by basically just everything that we saw at the Meat Grinder. A lot of it was inspired by Virulent Rot, I think.
Cool.
I always mispronounce it. Virulent?
Yeah, Virulent?
I don't know. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I think that there's...
Or Virulent.
I think there's still... I actually was just talking to Eric about this recently. I think there's still some of those CDs of theirs at Needle
really?
Drop.
Really? I'm going to have to try to cop one of those.
I think if there's not there, I think I have it on a computer.
Nice.
Like, I think I have it backed up somewhere.
Because I don't know if I have any of their recordings.
There was also...
I mean, there are videos.
Yeah, there's a bunch of YouTube
YouTube.
videos. There's also, around the time when Endangered Youth did our tour, wow, this is
When
was
did you tour?
2011.
Okay.
Yeah, I
That
think
was before I knew you for sure.
I think that we made some split cassettes with the Endangered Youth, like our whole discography at that point, which was pre-Furtherance coming out.
Okay.
And
That was a good
Braille and Rot's EP.
Nice. Okay.
And they were just super
Was that out digitally too? That split, or just
no? Because it was just like a compilation of everything, like of what we had from each band. And we sold them all, but they were like just like literally like couldn't be more shitty. Like handwritten, like not even like anything drawn on the covers. We were just like, we should make some tapes because people like tapes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was,
I would buy one if they were still around.
It was cool. I mean, maybe there's somewhere out there, but I don't know where.
I'll search eBay. Search eBay every day for it, for someone to get tired of it.
Somebody needs to like get that shit on Discogs or something.
Mm-hmm. Some deep shit.
Yeah, so you were coming to shows at the Grinder. You guys were like young.
Yeah, we were young. That was the end of my junior year in high school.
Okay.
And so Kenny was a year younger than me, so he was end of his sophomore year. No one younger really came with us ever, I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were the youngest people at the Meat Grinder, except Joey was probably our age. How old's Joey right now?
I think Joey's 20 now.
Okay, so I'm older than Joey.
Yeah, he's finally gonna be 21 in December.
That's amazing that he's not 21.
I thought you were gonna say it's amazing that he's not dead, which is also a true statement. Yeah. Love you, Joey. I know you're listening. You. Maybe.
We'll see.
You were straight edge back then.
Yeah. So
not to bring that up.
No, that's fine.
But in a world of a lot of underage drinking, not that I condoned that, but it just seemed to happen at that place. You guys were the good kids.
I guess we were. I mean, we were young, so we seemed good either way, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah, I didn't ever partake. I always got beer on my shirts and sweat.
We all had beer on all of our shirts.
It was fine. That was part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually found my Meat Grinder shoes yesterday at my parents' house. You had a
special pair?
Well, I had a pair, and they were my shoes that I wore, and then I wore them to like a few Meat Grinder shows, and then they were like too like disgusting to like wear because like they were sticky all over and shit. So I just like set them aside as my show shoes. So like whenever I went to a show, I would wear them, and then eventually they became my work shoes at Tom Walls when I was working at Tom Walls. And so, because they were just greasy and, like, gross and disgusting.
Yeah.
So, and then I put them away at some point, because I was just like, I stopped working at Tom Walls, so I put them away. And then I was like, I found them, and I was like, wow. These are, they're, like, very curved, just from, like, all of the material, like, building up on all it. But, yeah. They were Skechers, and there was a little S on it, and I didn't like it, because I thought it was dumb that they were Skechers. So I wrote in Sharpie Scrams using the S.
Oh man!
Because I thought that was cool.
The Scrams term, despite being really stupid, I think we all know it's really stupid.
It's just like nice because it's clear what you're talking about.
Yeah, it definitely serves a purpose, and I understand where it came from. But back, 4 years ago, I think we were all pretty like. We were pretty bought in on that shit.
Yeah, we really were. That was, like, all I listened to. Yeah. Well, it wasn't all I listened to, but it was, like, a significant amount of, like, the music that I was looking into for, like, several months was just, like, looking at New Screamo. Because there was just, like, a whole new world that, like, had ended in the mid-2000s that I didn't know about.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, and in a way you were fortunate because you had the internet.
Yeah. Very fortunate.
And when I was your age, I'm already saying that. Like, it was so hard to come by stuff because, I mean, Napster was a thing, and like, all the, like, whatever else came after Napster, those were a thing, but I
Yeah.
had dial-up internet at my house.
Yeah, internet used to be very slow.
Yeah.
It's so much easier now. Downloading music just like that.
Yeah.
And the memory that we have and stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely a nice tool.
I mean, Screamo was even, like, a huge influence on, like, what Endangered Youth was doing.
Yeah, your vocals are very, like, not necessarily, like, Screamo influenced, but, like, I can tell that there's some Screamo in there.
Yeah, it was interesting, like, that whole scene that kind of, well, not the whole scene, because there was definitely another end of it that was definitely more, like, pop-punk that was happening, and, but even, like, the noise element of that, there was definitely some of, like, the Noise Kids were into Screamo too, and
Yeah.
everybody.
Speaking of which, did you go to the Rochester International Noise
Conference?
Neither did I.
I wanted
to. We both wanted to.
Yeah,
But
I'm going out of town this week, so, like,
mm.
like, I'm leaving Sunday, so, like, money's tight, and I just had other things going on, so I didn't have
Makes
the time
sense.
or money to go out to a show.
Yeah, I saw some cool videos though. Looked like it was interesting.
It's that was another thing that happened right around that same period of time.
Yeah. A lot of noise started happening at the meat grinder.
Yeah. And I feel like everyone had a noise project. Were you one of
I
those?
did not.
Okay.
Kenny did and Sawyer did.
Yeah.
Of my friends. And I think that was it. Of my friends, but
Yeah.
the Fairport crew, I guess.
Yeah.
With
Weird.
suburb kids.
Did Method? Yeah, Method did play at the meat grinder, right?
I think twice.
Okay.
'Cause
You
we
guys
played-
played the last day,
We played the
right?
last
Yeah.
show and we played another show,
Cool.
which might have, I don't remember who else was on that show.
Yeah.
But
There's some, like, I've got the list.
Too many
So-
shows.
I do have the
You
list
have a master list?
somewhere.
nice.
It's on my computer. I could bring it up at some point if you were ever really curious as to see.
I would be curious at some point. but-
I'll look it up.
okay.
I'll look it up when I get home if I remember.
I just want to see like how many shows I remember because I don't know how many I went to. But
Yeah.
at some point it was like 2 a week that were happening.
And that,
at least
not to, like, bring up, I mean, this has come up before, and I'm not using this as a platform to shit talk, but that was
Yeah.
kind of what the nail in the coffin was when a certain individual decided to start throwing shows all the
Makes
time
sense.
without
It's too much.
without consulting with the rest of us.
Yeah.
Because we were up to a point, like, up to that point, it was very much a collective. And everyone was like, okay, let's, like, sit down and talk about what shows we want to do. And,
Yeah.
but, and then I don't remember if I was there for, I think I was there the one time you played, but I didn't catch you guys the last show that happened there. I got there late. I got there kind of as everything was crumbling.
Crumbling to the ground.
It felt like like metaphorically that, like, the building had, like, caught fire. Everyone was, like, panicking and trying to get out.
Yeah, that must have been stressful. To live
Well,
there.
I had already moved out.
Okay.
I moved out a month before.
Right.
But I was still kind of hanging around, and even though I wasn't necessarily cool with everybody, I wanted to show up for, like, the last
show.
big thing, and then I show up, and
It's not going well.
there's an ambulance on its way, and yeah. Did you go to the after party thing that happened?
No, I don't think so. No, I didn't.
It,
What was it?
It was just around Irondequoit kids. NBA's Disguise played in, like, a living room, which was fun, but
That's
it was
always
like
fun.
it was real weird. Like, I got in the car with somebody I didn't know, and we're driving down the highway, and he pulls out a bottle of wine and is swinging it while he's driving, and I'm like, I mean, I was pretty crazy back then, but I was terrified.
Yeah,
like,
drunk driving isn't something
no,
that you
it's
should fuck
not.
with.
It's not okay.
Yeah.
But I'm already in the car, and we're on the
Yeah.
highway.
Are you
I'm
getting a
like,
ride back with the
I
same
got a ride
person?
home from somebody else.
That's good.
I don't remember who it was,
That's good.
because I think I drank a lot there, but, like, I didn't drive.
Yeah. That's good that you didn't, but
Yeah.
Glad you made it there safe.
I did. I got there safe. Everyone was okay. But yeah, getting in the car with a stranger and then them pulling out a bottle of wine while on the highway is a terrifying experience.
Yeah, not the most pleasant.
Yeah, I don't
safe thing, but
I don't want that to ever happen again.
Yeah.
We got way off track, but whatever.
Whatever.
So what band came after Meth Head? I know that Sawyer moved.
Yeah, Sawyer moved.
How's he doing, by the way?
He's doing well as far as I know. I haven't talked to him much recently, but
what's up, Sawyer?
he just shaved all his hair, and it looks really cool.
I mean, not all of it, but I understand it's hot.
Yeah, it is hot.
Cool. Yeah, I miss seeing that guy around.
Yeah, me too. I miss him a lot.
Is he playing music at all out there, or?
I'm not sure. I think he started going to art school,
Okay.
but I'm not. I don't know all the details.
Sawyer,
I gotta talk
if
to
you're
him
listening,
soon. Sawyer, if you're listening, I miss you.
keep us updated.
We should talk soon. Keep us updated. We love you. But yeah, he moved when I went away to college, or like a month or two after.
Mhm.
So at that point, it felt like everything was already dissolving. Because I went originally away to college like 7 hours away, and I was just like very disconnected, and I just like missed it so much. And I came home for Thanksgiving, and like played a basement show in Fairport, and I was just like, man, I gotta transfer out of this school.
What band was that?
Played. I think that would have been maybe Ch and Meth. No, Meth Head was not playing because Sawyer was gone. But yeah, Ch played that.
And that's CHO?
That was me and Cam.
CHO?
Oh, CHE.
CHE?
Yeah. TCHE. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I think I have that EP on my computer.
Okay, yeah.
I just didn't know how that was pronounced.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't assume that people know what I mean when I say Ch. But yeah. Yeah, TCHE. And that was probably the last time we played. But it was fun. It was really nice because it just feels like so natural writing music with them because we've always written together and stuff.
Yeah, and that's you and Cam, and is somebody else in that as well?
No, that was just a two-piece.
Cool.
But yeah, and then
were you in Morley?
I was in Morley. Yeah. Okay, so Morley also happened that the fall after the Meat Grinder stopped.
Okay.
Is when that happened. We had a lot of stuff happening in Fairport that fall because like. Meat Grinder was gone, so we weren't going to those shows anymore, and we're like, we got to keep shows going. So we had like a lot of shows in like Avery's basement.
Yeah.
Do you remember Henry Howard? He came to a few Meat Grinder shows. He looked kind of like me.
Okay.
But
yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And he played piano really well, and he had some like really cool piano music that he has recorded. I think the Bandcamp is Hen123456 So if you want to link that, that's a cool thing to listen to. It's just like this really, it's like all improv, like romantic music. It's really nice.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so we did some shows in his living room, which is like really cool, just because it's like this nice like old house with like a big floor rug and stuff.
Cool.
And so those were always cozy, and we just did a lot of shows around there, and it was mostly just like 8 to 10 people recycled, recycled into different
I showed
bands.
up at some of those. That was kind of at a period where I kind of dropped out for a couple months. Like after the Meat Grinder happened, I needed a break.
Yeah, understandably so.
But did Morley play out much? Did you guys play out at all other than those basement shows?
We played at a barn in Fairport once. But I don't think anything other than those basement shows. We were actually originally called Sumley, and it was just the same people but on different instruments, but it wasn't going well because we weren't good at those instruments, and we were like, wait a minute, why don't we just play the instruments that we're good at? And so then we switched to what we were doing, and then
who
wrote 2 songs.
Was in that?
That was me, Dylan, and Dan Bebka.
Okay.
And so we wrote 2 songs, recorded them on an iPhone, and then played like a few shows and then stopped playing, but I always liked that band.
Yeah, I remember really liking the demo, because that was around the same time when Malaria and Left at Home was doing their thing.
Yeah, that was our big screamo phase.
Yeah,
that summer and fall.
Yeah,
But yeah, we never played at the Meat Grinder or anything. I don't think.
Yeah, that was afterwards. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there are any other bands in there that were prominent. I mean, there were like a few that we did like for a day or two that were just like different combinations of people trying different genres, but it's just like, I don't know. It was just having fun, honestly.
Yeah.
It wasn't ever trying to be anything at that point. I didn't really get serious about my music until like in the past year, honestly.
Yeah. Now, when was the next kind of thing of note? Which would have been Full Body, or would it have been Drive Me Home Please, which was like the next?
Yeah, so I was always kind of doing music with like keyboards, but for a while it was just under my name, and then I think it was the spring of 2014. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to like kind of separate myself from this music and just try to like make my, I don't know. I wanted a name so I could feel more like a musician and not just like my solo project, you know?
Yeah.
So that's when I made it Drive Me Home Please, and that's why I put up like a Bandcamp and stuff. And then I guess a year after that, spring of 2015 is when I put out my first full-length Oil Kid. Not really a full-length, 6 songs. I think 6 songs. I don't know. But yeah. And I actually just got shirts in the mail today for my Oil Kid 1-year anniversary. So they're it's just a shirt designed by Laura Sufnick, who, just name dropping while I'm at it. Well, it's a like, so do you know what the album cover looks like? It's like a cold beverages cooler. So it's just a like line drawing of that, and it says "Drive Me Home, Please." It's a really nice looking shirt, in my opinion. So.
I'll have to grab one of those very soon. So what would you say, like, because at least to my knowledge, and I'll play a Drive Me Home Please track on the podcast if that's cool with you.
That's cool.
It could be whichever one you want.
Cool.
But how would you describe genre-wise what that is? Because I don't know if, especially in this scene here in Rochester, it's really different.
Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, I have a lot of different influences, but the way I just always think of it is just like bedroom pop, because all my chord progressions are just like regular pop chord progressions, and just like, I don't know, like clear, not really hiding anything lyrics, and then just like, I don't know, the drum machine is kind of part of the sound. I don't know how to describe it genre-wise other than that, like synth pop, I guess, but I don't know. That's how I describe it.
Yeah, cool. And you playing some full band solos with that.
Yeah, so now when it's full band, I guess I could still call it synth pop, but I don't know what I'd call it other than that. DIY. I feel like DIY music should be a genre, because that word is like encompasses most of the music that I'm into.
Yeah.
So it's like a really wide range of genres, but it kind of is more definitive. Like if someone asked me what's my favorite kind of music is, like I wouldn't know what to say, but if I could just say DIY music, it would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, I mean,
to me at least.
Generally on this podcast, I mean, I use punk as such a broad term for kind of anything.
Because punk could mean the same thing as that.
Yeah, like
I could be considered punk, I guess.
Yeah, like more of
a. Think of it.
It's punk because it's DIY more than like like genre description punk, you know?
Yeah.
So cool. Now, and if you don't mind me asking, like, there's definitely there's like spiritual themes in some of the Drive Me Home Please records. So is that like, how does that all impact your writing and your views on like faith and spirituality?
Doesn't really influence my songwriting that much at all anymore. Most of what I focus on now is just like, I don't know, like general like life experience that most people can relate to. And well, not necessarily that most people can relate to, but just like things that have impacted me that I feel something about, so I want to put that emotion into a song. And so I guess, yeah, that comes from a lot of different sources, but I don't know. That's the main driving thing for me is just my experience.
Yeah.
And so whatever things I'm going through are usually what's reflected vaguely or clearly in my lyrics.
Cool. I'm interested in those things. I don't want to like dig or like, pry around and be like, what do you believe right now? Like,
it's cool.
But like, I'm always interested in like how faith impacts art. So cool.
Yeah, my faith is also, I don't know, grown and changed a lot in the past few years.
Should always be.
Yeah, but like, I'm not sure where I stand with a lot of that now, though, in terms of, I don't know, belief and focus and things. So, I guess that's why it hasn't impacted my writing all that much recently, but...
Yeah. Word. Cool. And Full Body is the other...
Yeah, so Full Body...
One of the other main projects. I haven't even brought up the one that you're about to go on tour with.
Right,
but,
right. Yeah, so Full Body...
Yeah, and there's the other one you just got back from tour with.
Yeah, that's true.
There's so much shit to talk about.
Yeah, I was more just like a fill-in basis for that, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, so Full Body started with Dylan and Johnny Tiberio. I don't know if you know him.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
I think we're Facebook friends.
Nice, yeah. He's in the Suburban Scrams group, But they were doing some music together in the fall of 2014. And, like, December probably, they were like, or maybe November, I don't know. They were like, hey, do you want to... Because we weren't sure who we wanted to have play what. I don't remember what I started out playing. I think I might have started out on drums for Full Body, actually. And then Dylan was doing guitar and singing. And Johnny was doing bass, I think. Or maybe also guitar. Maybe Dylan was doing bass. I don't know. We switched that around a few times, like trying to figure certain things out. The members in Full Body actually changed a lot.
I remember that.
There was a long progression, probably like 7 or 8 months at the beginning of Full Body when we were trying out a bunch of different combinations of people, but eventually it ended up with me, Dylan, and Jack. That was, I think, okay, so we met Jack at the Adult Mom show at the Sink.
Okay.
And we played that, and Jack was like saying that he really liked it or something. You know how Jack's all enthusiastic and nice. We love Jack. And so I think Al was actually talking to him, and he was like, they're looking for a drummer. And then Jack was like, oh, I drum. And Jack's been drumming for like a long time, and like he's a really good drummer. So we were like, yeah, let's try him out. And then we started playing with him. We were like, this is great. It's got like such power, because we've always wanted to have like a really full body sound.
Yeah.
Which is kind of how the name came about, just like having a full sound. And in order to do that, like, we have to focus a lot on like tone and like amps and like getting the volume and levels all right and perfect. And so when Jack is such a powerful drummer, it like forces us to turn ourselves up more. So we ended up being a really loud band, but like we really liked that. And we're going to try to start bringing earplugs to shows, because I feel like it's making it not comfortable for people.
Well, there's always some here.
Yeah, I love that about the Vineyard. It's great. It's great that you have those. But, yeah, so that's when we started with that as a 3-piece. And then a few months ago we started playing also with Jake Kotler, who is in, do you know Slackjaw? He's a Geneseo band.
I've heard of the name.
Yeah, so he's now playing, so we have 2 guitars now.
Okay.
So we're a 4-piece officially now. And we played our first official 4-piece show last weekend, I think. I don't remember. Yeah. It was the night of the Deer Leap show here.
Yeah.
We played a show at the Sank after, and that was our first one. It was actually pretty good, even though it was a late show. Yeah, it was cool. It was a really good show.
Cool. Now,
long day of music, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I was tired after this show.
Yeah, so was I. I was tired before this show.
You don't live at the Sank?
No, okay. I just spent a lot of time there. Okay. So, but most of the shows that happen at the Sank, I think, are booked by me.
Okay.
Just because that's, I don't know. I'm such good friends with Dylan and Matt, so like, it's just very convenient to be like, hey, you have this house that you want to have shows at. Yeah. I'll can I have this show here? And then they're like, yeah. So it's good.
I love that there's a place for house shows.
Yeah, house shows are so important.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the driving force of any DIY scene, because like if you have to, pay $8 to $10 to stand at a bar to watch music, a lot of people don't want to do that. But if you can go to a nice little house and sit down if you want, and like I don't know, do whatever you want, all ages. We try to keep it safe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's always good to have house venues, and it sucks because like when people are like living in apartments and then they have to move out, it's like, oh well, this house venue only could last 2 years because the people don't live there anymore. So I feel like lost like 3 big New York house venues this year because Mute City and Geneseo had a lot of shows that were really good, and that ended this year. The Scarier Dome in Syracuse just stopped, and the Treehouse in Albany.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer to see house venues going out.
Yeah.
But Sank's still going, which is good.
Yeah, and it's every once in a while they're doing stuff at the Shark Tank still.
Yeah.
Stuff happens every once in a while.
That's cool. I've only been there once, but it was really cool.
Oh yeah, you played that show.
Yeah, I played that show.
Yeah, I booked that.
Yeah.
Booking shows and houses.
Booking shows and houses. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Well, specifically booking a show at a house that you don't live in.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a funny thing.
It is a funny thing. I never really think about that.
Yeah.
Because I bet a lot of people think that I live there.
Yeah. It's like people thought that Stephen Haramis lived at the Meat Grinder, which he did for a little while at the end, but, but...
I never knew who lived there. I had like a rough idea. I didn't know how often it changed either, if it did.
I mean, it changed fairly often, but there were certain people that, like, they didn't live there, but they lived there.
Yeah, okay. So they didn't pay rent?
Like, Joey didn't live there.
Yeah.
Joey shouldn't have been living there, because he was, like, 15.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, man.
I guess...
What a life. For a
I guess if
15-year-old.
if your parents don't care where you are...
Yeah, it works.
End up on the couch at a house venue.
Yeah.
And Colin Bourne spent a lot of time at the Meat Grinder. Like,
that's nice.
It was not a rare occurrence for me to like come out of my bedroom and
you're just
like,
there.
Oh, Colin, sleep on the couch.
Yeah, that's funny.
But
I'm sure it's stressful to never know if you're gonna be alone.
it was a weird period of time.
Yeah.
Like I think back on it fondly, but I also it was crazy and weird, and I wouldn't do it again now because I feel like an old man now.
Yeah, I feel like it's good to do that once in your life.
Yeah.
Get the experience in.
Yeah. Now, Full Body, what have you guys released?
We released a 2-song. Did we release? I don't know if we. No, yeah, we initially released 2 songs that we recorded kind of. I mean, they were recorded alright, but we didn't really play them much after we released them because we just didn't really like them that much anymore. And then we released our first thing, which was Go Get It, which was, I think, 7 or 8 tracks or something. And that was about a year ago. I don't remember exactly when it was.
Is that just digital, or did you guys ever have physical copies?
That, digital and taped. We had
Okay.
tapes. And then soon...
Are all those tapes gone?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I missed out on that.
But
Let's
soon,
come back around.
very soon, hopefully by the end of this summer, we're going to have a split out that we did with Soft Cough, and we have 3 new songs on that. And that's coming out on tape also. One of those songs is on the Bangkok Blend Summer Sampler that just came out.
Cool. Now, tell me about Bangkok Blend and your connection to it and how that label works. Because I know Matt and I know you guys, but I feel like I still don't like completely understand how that whole
I'll
thing
tell you
works.
what I know.
Okay.
So
it's a mystery.
Not that it's a mystery, but I'll tell you how I came to know Bangkok Blend. So I was living with Cam Horvath and Dan Bebka 2 years ago. 1.5 years ago, I guess. Yeah, probably. Let's call it 1.5 years ago.
Works for me.
and Cam was okay. So Matt had the. I don't know if he wants me to talk about this, but Matt had this rap thing.
See, that's the thing. There is some mystery about this.
Yeah. Matt had this rap thing called Funnel Buds with this person, Bry, from Maryland.
Yeah.
They met on the internet, I think, somehow. I don't know when they met in real life, or if it wasn't until the Blend Fest last year. But regardless,
we can talk about that. Too.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
a weird night.
Yeah, that was cool. Okay, anyway, so yeah, they did like this rap thing, and Cam like found it somehow and was like really into it, and like then at some point he like found out that one of the Funnel Buds people was from Rochester, and then he like Matt saw me at the Drive Me Home Please show, or it wasn't the Drive Me Home Please show, it was the Teen Suicide Alex G show that Drive Me Home Please played at the Bug Jar last year.
Did you talk to them and bring up when they canceled the show here at Vineyard?
I wanted to, but I didn't. Oh man, because that was like before they were huge.
Yeah.
Not to like say it like that, but that was going to be a cool show because it was also Pill Friends and Soda Bomb, and they're both really cool.
Yeah.
But all three bands dropped, and it was a local show.
It ended up being really fun.
It was still really fun, yeah.
That may have come up on another
Amy Heroin played,
too.
I think.
Yeah, Amy Heroin did play. It was one of two shows that we played.
I love it. But yeah, so that was the first time Matt ever saw me, but then I didn't get like introduced to him or anything because we didn't know him. So we didn't really talk or anything. But then at some point, Cam was releasing some of his music called Wake Turbulence, which was like this aggressive ambient
I remember that
thing. Yeah. Kind of like black metal-y almost, but like no vocals, just kind of like hard, kind of noise, I guess. I don't know. But, and that eventually just morphed into what he's doing. Well, I don't know. They were like separate projects and they were under the same name for a while, but anyway, that's a different story. So he was releasing that on Bangkok Blend, and then I was like finishing up my Oil Kid recordings for my first Drive Me Home Please album, and I think Cam like sent it to one of them, and then they were like, hey, we want to release this. And then at some point, the Blend, Bangkok Blend is just kind of like a, I don't know, like I got added to a group chat, and then like I found like all these other musicians who were doing Blend stuff, and it's just like a big mix of genres.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I released it on there, and then started to get to know all of them, and then hung out with Matt a few times, and then we just kind of became friends with Matt, because Matt was like the only other Bangkok Blend person from Rochester. The rest were like based out of Maryland for the most part, I think. But yeah, so that's how I met Matt, and then eventually Bry stopped doing Bangkok Blend, and there was just Matt, and yeah, I guess it's just like a label that I don't know, I feel like when we became friends with Matt, it just like became like, okay, yeah, well, might as well release everything on this.
Yeah.
Just like it keeps it more organized and connected. Like if you find this one artist, like you can find their other band's music, you know.
Yeah.
I like
seems
that
like
idea.
Very like it's a collective kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And cool. Yeah, Blendfest, that was, I just remember that being a real weird time.
Yeah, there's going to be another one this year, and we're going to have a lot of really cool bands on it.
Nice. Do you know what
It's going to be
is?
August 13th, I think.
Okay, nice.
I think that's a mostly permanent date.
Yeah.
Unless it moves around. But, yeah, we've already, I don't remember who we have lined up. Do you know Foster Carrots? They came to the Sink a little while ago.
I don't.
But
no.
they're going to be playing, and they're from Virginia, I think.
Okay.
But
cool.
that'll be really cool. And Full Body's playing, Drive Me Home Please is playing. I think the Loners are playing.
Cool.
I don't know who else, but
The Loners are really cool. Like,
yeah,
what James does is really cool.
It's
Like,
amazing. I feel like he's doing, because the first time I saw him was here, and he was, I don't know, I think he was probably, I don't know, I think he's a senior in high school right now.
Okay.
Or
I know he
guess
had
it's
played
summer.
here with was it Princess Princess?
It was the Loners, but,
Okay. But
I don't
he
think
did
I
have-
ever saw Princess Princess.
He was
actually.
in Princess Princess,
Yes,
right? Okay,
yes.
cool.
I never saw them, but what was Princess Princess like?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Okay.
They played a show here, but it was a show that I think Tim Avery booked, and I remember like being here when they got here and like introducing myself, but then having to leave or something.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because I'm here for like 90% of the events that happen,
Yeah.
and then
Just that one
sometimes
you
I
weren't.
miss
Yeah.
like notable things happening here.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen them, but I don't know if they're still. Do they have recordings? I don't even know.
I don't know. Maybe.
I should ask James about that.
Hey James,
But,
where are the
hey
recordings?
James, where's Princess at? But yeah, I remember thinking like, because he was pretty young, and I was like, this. I feel like he's just doing everything that I wanted to do when I was at his age, but I didn't know how.
Yeah.
Like creative wise, like I feel like he was. It's like the same vein as what I wanted to do, but just like he was doing such a good job of it, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I love his music, and that's why I did a split with him.
Yeah.
Because definitely putting out splits with musicians that you really like is the best thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see, like, what all of you guys from Fairport and then, like, seeing what James is doing. Like, people that are, like, not to sound like the old guy again, but, like, it's really encouraging and fun to see all this new creative stuff coming out from people that are so much younger than me. And, like, I don't know, like, I feel like the world is... There's so many distractions out there.
Mm-hmm.
So to see creativity still happening.
It's tough to stay creative, but it's good
Yeah.
when you have like a lot of people in Rochester being creative, so that like
Yeah.
you get a steady like flow of releases throughout the year,
Yeah.
even if it like takes. Like for me, just like writing music when I'm in school is like tough because like I don't have time to like. I don't know. When I do have time to like write and stuff, I feel like I'm forcing my creative process. So like, it just always ends up being hard for me to produce anything. But like, I can usually get like something out like once a year, I guess.
Mm.
Something that's like, I guess, Drive Me Home Please. I mean, I've only released like 2 things, but I guess I could still say it's once a year, roughly. And that's just like, I don't know. If everyone does it once a year, you get a lot of music
yeah.
out of like one place, which is really cool.
For sure. Now, Rochester City Police Department.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, man. What are you doing? I actually haven't. I've listened to the releases on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's awesome. But I don't. Other than Avery on vocals, I don't know anything about who does what.
Okay, so I play drums in that. That's
Okay.
the only band that I drum in. So it sucks when we can't practice because Kenny lives in New York City. So I just feel like I'm really like gonna be shaky on drums. So we
Yeah.
gotta like practice a bunch like right before we leave for tour. But yeah, it's me on drums, Greg White on bass, Kenny on guitar, and Avery on vocals.
Cool.
And that it kind of stemmed out of me and Kenny's 2-piece screamo band, which was in like the Morley era. That was like our. It was kind of like improv because it was the two of us, me drumming, him playing guitar, both of us doing vocals.
Mm.
We were in Dylan's parents' basement once, and we just like figured out like how to play like 2 songs. We were just like, okay, let's do a part like this and then a part like this. And then we played them at a show in Avery's basement. And then we played like 2 more shows maybe and didn't practice ever again. So it was just like every time I was like, okay, how do we do this? What do we play?
Yeah.
And then we just like played. And it was, I don't know, it was just like, there's a cool picture actually of us playing, and it's just like me just like, and then Ken, you just like, and it's a good pick. But yeah, so then when did we do that? Probably like a year and a half. No, yeah, probably like a year and a half ago. We were like, yeah, let's do that again and like actually write something. And we were like, wait a minute, we should have a vocalist so that we don't have to try to play and do vocals at the same time. And so we asked Avery. I don't remember if we asked anyone else. But yeah, so Avery started doing vocals, and then we were like, we should get a bassist too. So then Greg started playing bass, and we did a tour in January this past year, and there were only 4 shows, but it was like a week long, I guess. We had a few off days in New York, which was fun.
Cool.
But so then this summer we're doing a lot bigger, going July 6th through 21st.
Oh, awesome.
And yeah, it's going to be really fun. It's coming together last minute a little bit, but we've got a good number of shows, and we're trying to get new shirts in time. We have some more shirts left, but no larges. Only smalls and mediums left. So that's not very helpful to a lot of people.
No,
so we're trying to get
not for me.
trying to get some more shirts for that. And then we also have some tapes of our first release.
Cool. Yeah, Kenny. It seems like Kenny kind of got real into hardcore after the whole screamo phase, which
yeah, I mean,
that was interesting.
He was always and when he was in middle school, he only listened to death metal and black metal.
Yeah.
So he's always had a heavier side to him, and he kind of pushed it away in his last years in high school and got into more of emo and stuff.
Yeah.
But he definitely has come back around and is very into emo violence and
yeah,
heavy he's wearing his death metal shirts again. You know he's in a good position when he starts doing that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, he's always had a heavier side. His guitar is he has it tuned to drop A all the time.
Yeah.
So it's always very chunky and
yeah,
fun.
Cool. Yeah. So it's pretty long. So what? You back the 26th, right?
21st we'll be back, but the 26th there's a show at the Bug Jar with Alex G. That Drive Me Home Please is playing.
Cool. And then you're playing here August 9th?
9th, yes.
I booked the show. I should
yeah.
But
yeah.
It slipped my mind.
I feel that. Because I'm playing another show somewhere with some band August 11th. So I didn't remember if it was August 11th or August 9th.
Yeah.
I just knew that I had both of those shows.
Yeah. Any plans for touring with Drive Me Home Please in the future? Or?
I've been thinking about it, but I don't know when I'm going to have the chance to. Because this summer, I'm already tired from touring, and I'm going to do another big one. And I might do a weekend tour with Full Body in August. So I don't know if I'm going to have time that I'm going to want to set aside for Drive Me Home Please. But maybe this winter. Yeah. Just because I'm going to grad school. And I'm finally going to grad school.
And you're going to get a job.
I'm going to get a job at some point, I hope. But yeah, so
where are you going to grad school?
RPI.
Okay.
Just in Troy, New York.
Weird.
So it'll be cool to probably get into the Troy and Albany scene.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I was just thinking it'd be super easy for you to tour on your own with that project.
Yeah, that's true. It would. It's just I don't know how much time I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
Weekends, I might not have time to even do a 3-day thing. I'm gonna have too much work to do. But over the winter break, I should be able to do something. I think I'm gonna try to do that because I think now that I have shirts too, I'll probably have a lot left over, which will be nice to sell on tour.
Cool.
But yeah.
Now, we mentioned it sort of earlier, but you just got back from tour with Big Fred.
Yeah.
I know nothing about Big Fred.
Okay.
Other than I've heard the name. Who is in that band? What do you guys
Big
sound
Fred
like?
is the project of Connor McCann, who went to... He lived in Rochester for a couple years. He went to Geneseo.
And he's
from the Hudson Valley.
What was the name of that band? The Whale and the Warbler.
Oh, I heard about it.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it.
It was really, really good. They played here once or twice.
I gotta check it out. I really like Big Fred. I can say that because I'm not really a band member. I was just playing bass and was available for the tour, so I played bass for the tour. But yeah, I don't know. He's such a cool songwriter. Just very interesting. The bass and guitar parts, the way they interplay with the vocals. It's all very. It's got a pop type of feel, but all the parts are very. Not quite mathy, but it's interesting and a lot of, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun music.
Cool.
I think he's a really good songwriter. And then Dylan plays drums for that. But
is there anybody else in there?
No, just a 3-piece.
Sure, I thought there was somebody else. I guess I was wrong.
He had another band. It was still Big Fred, still the same songs and stuff, but a different group of people.
Okay.
A year ago, and then you like mixed things around and like started with Dylan on drums, and then I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. There might have been 4 people at the time. I think there was only 3, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen them.
Yeah,
like I said, I legit just don't know. So,
yeah. I don't know when he's
how,
playing around here next.
How long were you guys out on tour with that?
It was, I think, 11 days.
Oh, okay.
It was a long one. We went just like a loop around the Northeast.
Nice.
Which was really fun.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Car got broken into in Baltimore on the last day. Luckily, it was the last day, so we just drove home. But all of our gear was inside the venue, so they just took a backpack, but it had like a laptop in it, so it was shitty.
Yeah,
and we had a broken window the whole ride home, which was shitty. But other than that, it was a good tour.
Yeah, it's like a bummer that like the last day something shitty happens.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
The other thing I wanted to bring up too is like I don't really Geneseo is far away from me. I don't have a car.
It is pretty far.
But it seems like
there was a lot going on there the past couple of years.
Things were really happening there the last year.
Yeah,
so.
like most of the Sank shows that we have, like at least half the people there are like from Geneseo.
That's
just because
awesome.
like they have such they like love the music scene, and like it's I don't know, it's really great what they have going on down there. It sucks that like the big house venue there, Mute City, just like stopped. So I don't know, and like, a couple bands too are like. Well, Slackjaw's starting up again, which is cool.
Okay. Yeah,
and
Cam's gonna play with them.
Yeah,
right?
Cam's playing with them now. Yeah,
cool.
And they're really cool. They were doing more like a year ago, or a year and a half ago, I guess. And Soft Cough, everyone that just graduated, so they're probably not going to be doing much music anymore, which is a bummer. They were like the big Geneseo band.
Yeah, that one time they played that show here.
Yeah, they did like a 15-minute set.
This place was. Like,
because it was
people I didn't know.
It was like all Geneseo people.
Yeah,
because they just like they love coming out to shows. Because like the way the house shows work there is like, oh, it's a Friday night. There's a show, and all your friends are going to be there. So it's just like this big party.
Yeah,
and so it's always like packed, and it's always like a really cool, fun show. It's like always really hot in there, but
yeah.
Other than that, so it's just like really cool because like at the Sank we don't get that type of crowd very often.
Yeah.
Like unless Geneseo people come through because like they. Just have a really good time at shows.
Cool.
I don't know, just because like how they all started. Because I honestly got connected to the Geneseo scene not through going to Geneseo, but through Rochester and being like, oh yeah, I go to Geneseo too. And then they're like, oh, you should come to a house show sometime. And then I'm like, yeah, tell me all about it because I don't know anything about the Geneseo scene.
Word.
So yeah, it was cool to like get into that in the past year.
Yeah, so I should probably
it's interesting to see like.
I should probably like connect with someone who like lives out there and like get Geneseo flyered up for shows.
Yeah, honestly,
seriously,
yeah. Some people will come out.
Yeah,
for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I know Bong Pong has played here a few times.
Yeah,
they're from Geneseo.
I don't know them, but I've seen them.
Yeah,
but cool. Yeah, it's just been really exciting to see all these things happen.
Yeah, it's been a fun year, honestly.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot's happened.
It's
music wise, at least for me in the past year.
Yeah, and I feel like I talk about this all the time, but like I'm like always like really stoked to see like you guys that like were high school kids hanging out in my basement, like still like involved in the scene because a lot of people drop out. Like there's
you do it for a short period and it's like, oh, I got other things to do.
Yeah. So like to see all of you like Fairport kids like still doing stuff, and even like every member of Such Reckless Children, like they're varying degrees of like what I'm into as far as those guys, what they do now, but all of the members of that band are like playing like out in Rochester, and they were all like high school kids. Like it's just like super fun to.
Yeah, it was just like such a fun thing for me. I was like, I don't want to stop doing this.
Yeah.
Like, this is the funnest thing that I do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, and that's why, that's why when I haven't had bands, that's why I got into booking shows, is because, like, I just, like, fell in love with this whole, like, DIY, punk thing.
Yeah.
That, like, I just want to always be, like, somewhat involved even when I haven't had a band that I've been playing in.
Yeah.
So.
Because, like, you don't have to play in a band to be involved. Like, booking shows, promoting shows, doing flyers for shows, like
Yeah.
things like that. You can do so much, and just going to shows. I don't know, talking to people. It's just fun to be connected.
Yeah.
And I feel like the coolest thing about it for me is that it's not necessarily a location based thing, and that's kind of how the Geneseo thing is. Like that scene is like connected. Like the bands from Geneseo who played in like Syracuse or Rochester like are almost a part of those scenes too. And like if you play somewhere, or if like I don't know, if a band like that's what's great about booking. Like when bands come to the Sink that I book, like I feel like they're a part of our scene now, and like some of those bands like who have come to the Sink like put stuff on the Bangkok Blend Summer Sampler just because we feel like connected, and like I can go play at their house and they can play at my house, and it's just fun. And then it ends up being not just like the Rochester DIY scene, but just the DIY scene in general, because it's so connected in that way.
And I've seen that a lot too. Like the more shows we've had here, the more bands go other places and are like, "Hey, I know this person or this band in Rochester," and so it, like
it's cool.
You know, all these connections are made, and
that's why I like hate to turn down shows, because like every single show that you do is an opportunity to make more connections. Yeah, and I feel like,
and not in like a shitty
not because I just want it for network. It's just like I'm making friends. Yeah, like I like meeting these people who are into the same things that I'm into.
Yeah, it's
really
awesome. Cool. Cool, man.
Very cool.
Well, what's other than tours or what's next for you musically other than this tour and things you've already said?
I guess it's kind of hard because I'm going to grad school, so I think Full Body is gonna be figuring out a new bassist situation for the fall, at least for the most part. I'll be 3.5 hours away, so I might come home like some weekends if there's like a show that I want to play. And like if they played in Albany or something, I could play. But
well, not only do they have to replace a good bass player, they have to find somebody who can do those sick harmonies. Yeah, that's my favorite thing about that band.
Really?
Like,
thanks.
Yeah, I really enjoy the harmonies.
Harmony's always been really natural to me because growing up in church with my parents, they always did harmonies for every song, and I always just like heard it. So it's just like
that's the same thing for me. Yeah, like I just
going to church as a kid really helped me with singing. Honestly,
for sure,
in every way. Which is cool.
My dad was a choir director in church, so like I would hear all the parts all the time. So that's how I learned how to sing harmony.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that
we both have that. But yeah, I'm glad that you appreciate those.
Yeah,
because it's always fun for me to do. But yeah, so Full Body,
I think in a lot of ways, not to interrupt you, but I think
keep going.
Not to interrupt you, I'm going to interrupt you. But like, I think in a lot of ways, like sometimes that's what like separates like bands that like have potential to go like further than their own like city scene, and bands that like don't. Like I think, like bands with bands that are like melodic bands that don't do harmonies.
Yeah, harmonies. It's like me and Dylan always joke about this. It's like the easiest way to make it seem like you're a really polished band.
Yeah,
is nailing your harmonies.
Yeah,
because like I don't know, it just sounds like a lot of thought has gone into it.
Yeah,
and it sounds like finished, I guess, when there are harmonies and things.
It's important.
Yeah. It's an interesting idea. And I think you're right in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm probably not going to be much of a part of Full Body anymore, and I don't like RCPD can only really do things in like the winter and the summer.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll keep doing that. I hope we will. Maybe like another tour if this one goes well. Maybe we'll do another tour this winter, but. Other than that, I think I'm just going to revert back to solo project Drive Me Home Please and keep putting stuff out like that with my spare time. But otherwise, musically, I think a lot of stuff's ending for me this summer, which is why I'm trying to get it all out on tour. Yeah. Just like do everything that I can this summer. I'm not working a job this summer, so I'm just chipping through those savings.
Nice.
It's really hard to watch my bank account, but other than that, it's really good to take the last summer that I'm going to have like this, I think, and just really use it, because I don't want to like realize in like a year like I don't have time to do that stuff anymore, and I didn't do it. So I'm glad that I'm doing as much as I can right now, at least.
Yeah, I think like this is something like Steve Haramis would always talk about. He's like, we got to do this stuff now so we don't have a midlife crisis later.
Yeah. I think about that stuff all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm all about like nostalgia. I think about it. Everything that I do is just like to make a memory, honestly.
Yeah.
That was just like the focus of everything for the past
so
like 3 years.
it's really hard because like doing these interviews, no, they're not really interviews. It's just me talking to my friends. But like,
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to not just go full on nostalgia.
Yeah.
And just like talk about Endangered Youth and the
because it's really fun to talk about, honestly.
Like in every episode, and it comes up in almost every episode
because it's so relevant.
Yeah, but
it's what's important to everyone.
Yeah, but I don't. It makes me uncomfortable to do it, but at the same time, I love it. You know.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's why I'm try to mix it up with sometimes interviewing people I don't really know and aren't connected to what I've done, but
yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for doing this. I'm really excited to
share
this with whoever's going to listen, and
me too.
I'll get some tunes in there.
Sounds good.
And yeah, we'll put this out into the universe.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
I just got a text. It said that life is a lot to handle. It's oppressive and it's draining, but it's not like anyone can change the channel. I'm tired every day.
just heard Drive Me Home Please with Grad School. And at the beginning of the podcast, after my intro, you heard New York State, also by Drive Me Home Please. And I didn't actually plan it this way, but it's working out that the new Drive Me Home Please EP is coming out today. Like, as in the day the podcast is coming out. So, check that out. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but the new release is called Infinite something. I'm sorry, Zach. I don't know how to pronounce the name of your release, but I will put a link to it in the podcast notes and all that, and you'll be able to find it. Anyway, I'm going to end the podcast with 2 more songs that our friend Zach played on. I'm going to start out with Bad Vibes by Full Body. And then to close it out, I'm going to play Take Your Time by Rochester City Police Department. So, I hope you guys enjoyed my conversation with Zach. Like I said, I'll have to have him back on again and put it out right after we have the conversation, so it's a little bit more up to date than this was. But I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. Thanks for listening. Alright, bye.
Bad vibes. Give me your bad vibes. They're all I need to really see. Bad vibes. Give me your bad vibes. Like bleeding heart has felt too strong. If you give me your bad vibes. If they don't understand, they never will.
Ladies and gentlemen, today our teacher will be a dead person. Our teacher will tell us something about death.